Street raised, I was brought up where the G stayed. Peep game, those who didn't catch one to your brain. Stay in your lane, never wolfed it, boy, I never fake. Watch them break, watch them fall, still I remain. Never change, never try to come and rearrange. Never hate, never tripping on somebody's plate. That shit is lame, leave that type of shit for the dames. The streets don't play, oh catch up, watch your life escapes. One game, homie, that you shouldn't play. There's real soldiers in the streets gunning every day. This shit is normal in the vital part of every day. It ain't great, but I'm loyal, so I'll never change. I keep repeating, but I mean it, never lose your way. Heed the warning and the missing just for talking brave. Fuck my enemies, two faces and all the snakes. Now for this matter, just name the time and name the place. We'll get it active, fuck the gap, and I'm in face to face. Real gangsters never fold, then we never shake. I was brought up to...
You are now watching M.O.D. Entertainment.
Now, to find the next video, we actually have to be sliding on through to the IE, Inland Empire. You already know the IE definitely be cracking. But to be more specific, we will be making our way to the area that is known as Riverside. Riverside is hectic, chaotic, it's treacherous, is known for the gang banging, homie. Shit gets crazy right here. Now, we'll be making our way to Riverside, to the southern portion of Riverside. Riverside is home to a lot of Riva gangs. Riva is obviously the term that they use to say Riverside, the shortened, Hispanic term for, Riverside, Riva. So, people are known to hear, North Side Riva, West Side Riva, East Side Riva, South Side Riva, those Riva gangs, but there's other Riva gangs. And one of them is the Hills one, which is known as the Varrios Hillside Riva. HSR. Or HS, you can see it either way, the Hillside Dukes. The Hillside Riva is a well-established Riva neighborhood that has already been right here, and it's real neighborhood, homie, you know what I mean? At least from what I was told, about 65 members to them. And, they're different from the Hillside Gangster Cribs because they do have to share their territory with the Gangster Cribs, and they're both, hillsides, but they're, They just happen to both be right there, and obviously because of the hills right there, that's the reason why they're named that, and because of the avenue, which is known as the Hillside Avenue. That's where it gets chaotic and it goes down. That's everything that's from Hillside Avenue to Central Avenue, Central to Streeter Avenue, all the way to Arlington Avenue, and back around to the Hillside, bro. So everything that's in the middle is considered their barrio. So throughout all those back streets, you know what I mean? Throughout Phoenix Avenue, throughout Cajon, La Jolla Drive, Rochester, Scott Avenue, all of that is what's considered their barrio, you know what I mean? It's not a gigantic piece of territory, but nonetheless, homie, is their territory, you know what I mean? That's where they held it down, bro, and where they continue to hold it down, because these guys ain't no suckers. Like I said, a real barrio has been doing real things, and they still are a functioning, hood. I heard, individuals try to say that they ain't active no more and stuff like that, but like I said, people may not like it, they may hate it, or love it. It doesn't change the facts. Facts are facts, bro. It is what it is, and these guys are right here, you know what I mean? And like I said, it gets chaotic right there because you have so many neighborhoods. You got the Suicide MGS right there. You got the all black King Gang. You have the Southside Riva, the Pequeños. You have so many different neighborhoods right here. So it does get chaotic, but the Hillside still continue to hold it down for theirs. Now, another barrio that we have right here in the A1A Valley that is one of these hill neighborhoods, it is known as the Varrio MHBS, or BZ. MHBS is known as the Varrio Mission Hill Boys. Mission Hill Boys is a real neighborhood that was established right here in Mission Hills. I know that sometimes people refer to it as Mission Hill Locos. That is a term that they also would use, but originally the name of the neighborhood was Mission Hill Boys. Locos tended to be more of a smaller clique. And they start off as a baseball / football team, that would play right there in the parque. And, as time, their territory was everything like near the Porter Middle School. But as time, went by and other groups, clashing with them, and, the fights turned into stabbings turned into shootings, and you already know. So they did start off in the 80s, the later 80s. They were always a small neighborhood. From what I was told, roughly no more than 25 members to them. They're not really up as much no more, they only have a few members, that are still around. Like I said, they were never a large neighborhood, due to gentrification. And just, other neighborhoods being in the area just made, recruitment a lot more difficult. And like I said, they were just a group that would hang out and play, they weren't looking to, manifest it to become a gang. It just ended up happening that way. But yes, it was a real barrio. It is a real neighborhood holding it down right here for the Mission Hill area and the Mission Hill boys. Now, to find the next barrio on the list, we actually have to be maneuvering our way to San Diego. You already know San Diego is home to a gang of neighborhoods. San Diego County ain't playing, homie. They got dozens and dozens of neighborhoods, and it does have several hill neighborhoods. So we will be spending quite a bit of time right here in San Diego because, like I said, there is several neighborhoods with the hill title in them. But we'll be starting off with the oldest one. Now, I had briefly covered this neighborhood already when I did the Loma neighborhoods, but the reason I'm going to mention it right here in this one is because it did originally have a different name before. It was Lomas 26. It did have another name to it, and I know that often leaves confusion and people scratching their heads like it's the same neighborhood, different neighborhood. So we will be maneuvering our way to the area that is known as Golden Hill. Golden Hill is known as the Loma 26 neighborhood. Before it used to be called Loma 26, it was known as Barrio Golden Hill 13. And then as time, passed by, it changed names several times, from Golden Hill to Loma de Oro, from Loma de Oro to Lomas, and then from Lomas to Lomas 26. And then that's where they, finally stayed at Lomas 26. You know what I mean? But their original name, the name of their barrio was Barrio Golden Hill. So yes, it's just the same neighborhood. And their territory is pretty massive. Is everything that stretches from not only Golden Hill, but from the South Park area. So both areas is the Loma 26 territory, the Golden Hill. Their territory is west from Interstate 5 to south of MLK 94 freeway to the east of the 15 to north of Juniper Road? I think that's, Juniper Street. Juniper Street. I think that's how you pronounce the street. I'm not too sure. May have butchered it. And this barrio did start in the 1950s. So it's an old-ass barrio right here in San Diego, homie. San Diego has some old-ass hoods. This being one of them. And yes, this barrio is still functioning, active, and you still sometimes see them, write it as Golden Hill. You know what I mean? Or sometimes be referred to it as that, because that was the original name. But yes, it's the same barrio, and they still continue to hold it down for theirs and the Golden Hill Loma 26. And as we maintain ourselves here in San Diego, what I tell you guys, man, San Diego got a gang of neighborhoods. Should be cracking in San Diego. It ain't no joke. And like I said, you got a lot of hill neighborhoods within this area. Now, to be exact, we will be maneuvering our way to the area that is known as Poway. Poway in San Diego. Up in the hills is where we're able to find this barrio, what is known as the Poway Hidden Hills, or Barrio Hidden Hill Locos, or just, Hidden Hills. Either one is appropriate, Poway Hidden Hills, or Hidden Hill Locos, or just Hidden Hills, that HH, that's why you see them always throwing up that HH, is for the Hidden Hills. And yes, this is a real barrio, despite what individuals want to say. Like I said, I never come to wolf it, makeup, and none of that. Now, the reason why people are not too familiar with this neighborhood is because the area in itself is not as old school, and it's more in the nicer part of, San Diego. But like I have said, neighborhoods could exist anywhere. Just because the area looks nice doesn't mean that it is nice. You get what I'm saying? Shit cracks everywhere. This area being no different. You know what I mean? And this gang actually started because this area did have a lot of whites, a lot of racist white people. They had a few skinhead gangs, that were around in this area. Tended to pick on the Hispanic kids. They banded together, and formed, a group right there, where they lived at, in Hidden Hills, and that's when the neighborhood became established. You know what I mean? To back up each other and not let themselves get punked around. You know what I mean? And then since then, fights turn into shootings and all of that, the whole territorial stuff. It gets chaotic and feuding with other neighborhoods, and then it just got on and popping, and it became and manifested to the neighborhood that we know of it today, Poway Hidden Hills. Don't get it twisted. These guys are with the business, and they will handle business. Now, as we slide on over and maneuver our way to the area in San Diego that is known as Oceanside. Oceanside, San Diego. Yes, Oceanside, San Diego has gangs. It has a lot of them, as a matter of fact. I know people think that, nah, this area is nice, nice where white people live, ain't nothing cracking. Nah, Oceanside is full of a gang of neighborhoods, homie. It's up to like, I don't know, like about 10, 10 or more, Hispanic and black neighborhoods up in this area, bro. It gets on and popping in Oceanside. Now, to be more exact, we shall be maneuvering our way to the area of Tri-City. Tri-City is home to one of these hill gangs, which is known as the Varrio Tri-City Thunder Hills. TCTH. 1-3. Tri-City Thunder Hills is a real barrio, yes, a Hispanic gang, but that actually started as a mixed neighborhood. It was actually a Caucasian, white and, raza neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because the area, had, both, had a lot of whites and a lot of Hispanic, and there was, good, interaction between the two, groups right here. I know in other parts of San Diego was a little bit more different and it was hectic, but right here was, it was all to the gravy. So, they had a good relationship, but as the times, passing by, more white family moving out, more Hispanic families moving in, it slowly started, becoming more of just a Hispanic neighborhood, but there does have a lot of white, homies in it, you know what I mean? Some of the founders, are white. And yes, this is a real neighborhood. Like I said, it started roughly around the 80s when this neighborhood was established. And their neighborhood is right there on Tiburon Boulevard and Thunder Drive. So that's Thunder Drive and Tiburon. That is the heart of their hood, their dojo, their domain right there in Tri-City in Thunder Hills. And that's where they hold it down and put theirs on the map. And yes, it's a real neighborhood. Now, to find the next barrio on the list, we'll be maneuvering our way now to a different part of San Diego, to probably the second, of the oldest and largest and well-recognized neighborhoods within this area that's a hill neighborhood. We actually have to be maneuvering our way to the area that is known as Paradise Hills. Paradise Hills is where you're able to find the PHLS, PHLS translating to Barrio Paradise Hill Locos. Barrio Paradise Hill Locos is a real barrio, old school, large, handle business, and have been handling business right here. They ain't playing. One of San Diego's most recognizable neighborhoods, you know what I mean? You do hear about these guys. And like I have said, don't let the name confuse you. Don't get it twisted. These guys mean business. The Barrio Paradise Hill Locos is a few hundred members to them. So, like I said, it's not one of these small neighborhoods. They are located... Now, the territory is essentially everything of Paradise Hills. You can find these guys just scattered all over. But the heart of their hood, their main domains, is on 65th Street. As a matter of fact, they did start off at 65th Street first. You know what I mean? And, then manifested into Paradise Hill Locals. Not only that, but you can find them at the Paradise Hills Community Park. Also right there where they hang out, where they do their thing. That's a danger zone. You don't want to be caught slipping there after dark because you will get sparked. And... not only that, but where the Rio Market's at, and all the back streets, near the liquor store. You don't want to get caught in that liquor store either, because you will get treacherous. Like I said, this is a real neighborhood that have been right here, holding it down for the Paradise Hill Locals, one of San Diego's, well-recognizable barrios, old school, large. Like I said, they own a massive amount of territory. You can literally find them scattered throughout all of Paradise Hills. These guys ain't playing, homie. That PHLS definitely handle business. Not only that, but they do have several rappers, to their barrio that you could check out their music right here on YouTube. You know what I mean? I think they have a few CDs out, if you guys want to scope them out, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what's up with the Paradise Hill Locals.